my little thing on a fry pan, on a fry pan, a fry pan, a fry pod, a tripod. I have my I have my phone on a tripod because I'm ready. I was thinking about putting. I think I'm gonna hook up my microphone too. So let me do that. Okay, so this video I'm gonna be talking about what it means to me when I say that the girlies need to break free from the shackles of Christianity and organized religion. So let's just get into, let's do a little history lesson because I used to be a history major. Historiography was, taking a class on that was actually one of my favorite classes, even though I didn't pass. Let me just say that. Oh, I couldn't get over it. It was too many white folks. I was stressed. I ain't gonna lie. But in that class, you learn like there are ways that you study history as a history major that is different than somebody learning history in a like regular classroom. So the way we learn it as history majors is we're learning to like look at all that information that we're getting from whatever book. We're checking our sources and we're learning to analyze that. Figure out, hey, what actually does all of this mean? What's actually going on here? What does learning to interpret history have to do with Christianity? We can start from the fact that when you read that book, that Bible, you're reading a collection of stories and myths. A collection of stories and myths that were created during a time where people literally they had no other ways of freaking entertaining themselves for real. That's what it seems like when I read that book. Because the stuff that's in there, for one, a lot of devotees of that religion misogynistic. They are extremely misogynistic. And it's like it's not your fault. Like, well, it is. It is your fault. If you like actively hanging on women, like you're a piece of shit. Anyway, so when you learn history and you learn to interpret history, you read that book and you realize this is just as much as myths and collections of myths as the Greek myths. The Greek myths that tell the story of how the seasons change, that tell the story of how Persephone ends up in Hades and how winter came about, tells the story of how Hades got to be ruler of the underworld, how Kratos got defeated by his own children. Like, these are all myths. It's a part of another religion, but it's widely recognized as Greek myths. We don't say Greek truth or the Greek Bible or whatever. We say Greek myths. But when it comes to Christianity, we talk about it. Bible is truth. Bible is law. The Bible is truth. Everything that happened in the Bible happened in real life, and everything that happened in the Bible is going to happen again because the Bible is truth. The Bible is truth. You hear this constantly, this rhetoric. It's being spread constantly. And like that's okay. Like you can have your beliefs. Except for the fact that those beliefs are now being put onto many thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of uncooperative people, like people that don't want it. Me being one of them. I don't want it. I was a part of this organized religion for my life, my whole life. I'm only 20 years old. That religion was literally at a certain point, it was all I knew. It was all I knew how to see the world, all I knew on how to interpret different interactions, how all I knew how to see or view God, source. It was all I knew for a very long time, and that stressed me out, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. That stressed me out. How long does mask gotta be on? 10 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna do this patchology sheet mask. Don't ask me where I got it from, cause I don't know. They say get dewy with it. So that being all I know, and Christianity having that whole like God is truth, God is law, the Bible is the word or whatever, instead of just going directly to God like their book says. Like their book says, they congregate in churches and worship their pastors. Congregate in churches and worship their pastors. You could say you worship God all you want to, but you're in a church that on mass at a very large scale is responsible for many a rape, many of deaths, many issues that we have in our government currently, because that religion has now become a part of the government, even though it shouldn't be. It never should be. No country anywhere should have religion be a part of the government. That is my firm belief, because it doesn't benefit anybody. It only benefits the ruling class. Let's be for real. Trump won the presidency because he manipulated millions of people into thinking that he's a Christian when he talked about a 2 Corinthians. Let's read something out the Bible. 2 Corinthians. Where you at? 2 Corinthians. And that's y'all king, that's y'all daddy. Like, hey Google, set up. Oh, I unplugged my Google. I unplugged my Google. Now, why y'all let me do that? Set a timer for 10 minutes. Girl, I could have did this myself. You supposed to be, you supposed to be convenient. I got stuff all over my hands. Okay, timer set. So this religion is pretty much being shoved down everybody's unsuspecting and unwilling throat. Christians, they want you to hear it. They want you to hear it. They want you to uh be a welcoming ear to their doctrine, to their myths, to their stories, to their quote unquote histories. Except once you get to telling the real shit, how all them people that's been raped and pillaged, unwilling to convert, and now their children are still part of that religion because it was beaten into their ancestors. Black Americans, I'm looking at you. It was beaten into us. If the white man were enslaving us, making mother and son procreate, making them have sex as humiliation rituals, breaking the buck, as they would call it, when they would degrade black men for everybody to see. They breaking that buck because they saw us as nothing more than cattle to buy, sell, trade, and whip when we stepped out of line. Why would these same white people give us the key to heaven? That never made sense to me. They like, oh, it's the colonizers' religion. Oh, we had that, and there's an Ethiopian Bible. Who gave y'all that Bible? Because if you say anyone but the Arabs who at a certain point was over there, don't piss me off, baby. Don't piss me off. When I say to be a Christian, to be religious, period, to believe in any type of organized religion, you got to be delusional. You got to be real delusional. This is why, this is the same rhetoric people use around like straight women. Be able to deal with them, to deal with the straight men. You got to be real delusional, because you got to truly believe that to a certain point this man has unpacked his misogyny. He still listens to rap music, but you think he respects you fully. He be calling other women bitches, but as long as it's not you, it's okay. He'll let the door slam on somebody's face, but as long as he's still nice to you, it's okay. But when it comes time y'all get in a fight and he calling you all types of B's and calling you out your name and calling you everything but a child of God, honey, then we got problems. We got big issues. All of a sudden, it's I don't know what happened. You could use the same thing with an abusive parent, I guess. Once you get from underneath the thumb of that parent and you start to open your eyes and really recognize, like, oh, I was living in deep delusion, thinking my mama slapping me with a broomstick because I asked for a second portion of dinner because I ain't eat all day at school. She gon' y'all thought that was normal. Y'all say, oh, everybody has the option of free will, but even by your book's logic, that's not true. Free will ain't real when it comes to religion. Let's be serious. Free will is hardly real even when it comes to other outside situations. Because free will implies that you have choice in the matter. You have a real choice in the matter. Your Bible says you believe in God, you worship God, you're not like you're born a sinner, but I forgive you. All this. Your book says that. It pushes that. But the other option, the crime of non-belief, is eternal punishment. That's not a choice. That's what makes me realize, like, that's all bullshit. That's something you tell a slave. You listen to me, boy. You listen to me, boy. Because you don't listen to me, I'm going to take you, I'm going to hang you up by your feet on that tree there, and I'm going to whoop that ass in front of everybody. Whole plantation got a show. Are you getting that ass towed up? Because you said no. That's literally what the Bible is. It tells you how to treat certain slaves, non-Israelite slaves. Y'all believe this book all you want to. I'm not in that. My mind has fully evolved past that. I'm not even gonna lie. And not even saying like I think people who participate in organized religion are like demented or slow or delusional. Well, you got to be a little bit delusional to believe in that. I ain't gonna lie. Because once you start actually like reading the book and understanding it, applying it with a critical ear, using your critical thinking, then you realize like, oh yeah, this ain't making no sense. This ain't making no sense at all. If somebody says like, oh yeah, my Bible, it told me um I can't congregate with freaking Japanese people because they speak a different language. That's just like all y'all mamas, y'all talking about she's spiritually in tune, she's saving your soul. She got psychosis. She going through psychosis, baby girl. Because you listening to K-pop and listening to Korean people singing, and she's going, that sound demonic. As if that's not just straight up racism. Your mom's a racist. And like you can say it. You can say your mom's a racist. You can go like, oh, my mom's a racist. She think that other people talking in their language is demonic. People be saying that about Indian, when they be listening to them little the Indian songs like the you know, with that little instrument. People parents will post, they be posting their little videos, their mom, turn that off, it's demonic. Praise the Lord. The Lord is gonna save their souls. Because they're speaking another language. Like, baby, your mom's just a racist. She's an ignorant racist. Like, she's just like them. She's just like them. And we not gonna let that slide, Bookie. She's just like them. We not letting that slide. We can't let that slide because we let her slide. We got to let everybody slide. It's okay to say your mama's a racist. Let's look in here. Let's look in this little book of fun. So your Bible say turn the page. Did. Love everybody. Love thy neighbor as you love your own. Hmm. Hmm. Yet the pillars of their whole religion is based off of hate. We got to fix these gays. Or fuck them gays. I hate the gays. They're going to hell. Oh. Fuck the blacks. I hate the blacks. They're going to hell. That's why their skin is black. They was cursed. That's also a part of your doctrine. That's part of your myths. Like, but black people, they got black Americans, black Africans, black people too. I be seeing it too. They be real Christian over there. They real Christian over there. Real ignorant over there. Talking about yeah. Every time somebody do something, your mama talk about the blood of Jesus. Like, girl, what are we doing? Like, calm down. And when I have to like tell people like, girl, it's really not that deep. I meant that. It's really not that deep because like, why the hell? For one, why would the colonizers you got your religion from? Because that's exactly who you got your religion from. You got it from the colonizers. If you're Black American, you did not get this religion from Africa. You got it from the slaveholders that was keeping your people captive. You don't have to put but the Ethiopian Bible, that's not the Bible that they gave you. That's not the Bible you're currently reading. That's not the Bible you know anything about. You saw it on a Google search once or twice, and now you trying to claim that like that's part of your culture, but it's not. Maybe the Ethiopian Bible spit some serious, but baby, you not Ethiopian. You're African American. Also, you not reading that. You not reading that. Why the Ethiopians got to be brought into it every 2 seconds? You not reading that. You ain't picking that book up. This damn face mask getting in my mouth. I got a little napkin down here. I've been using to wipe my hands off. I don't touch this thing. Just did like 20. How much time I got left on this? Oh, 5 seconds. Say less. Say don't ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'm getting the grocery bag. Mm. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They said just pat it in once you take that mask off. This is how my skin be so radiant, y'all. You guys to take care of it. You guys to take care of it. You guys to take care of it. And it's not just taking care of your outer. Because if you want your skin to be healthy, you guys to take care of your insides too, baby girl. You really do. No one with clear skin, well, I'm not even going to say that. That's a major generalization. But a lot of people with clear skin don't get clear skin because they eating a lot of like foods that are inflammatory and really salty or whatever. If you eat a lot of salty foods, you'll be able to. I can look at somebody's face and can tell when they eat salt that they eat a lot of sodium. Like you can look at somebody's face and tell when they eat a lot of sodium. Just like you can look at somebody's face and tell when they skip a lot of meals. But yeah, this the skincare, this the hair. And before you ask, are you gonna do anything to it? Yes. Done. 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 Hair done. Hair is done, baby. Hair is done. Like, give me that. Hair is done. Took it out them braids and it's done. I love doing the little braid out on my locks because look at the material. It also makes them look longer because usually I spray my hair with the water and it shrink up because my hair is healthy. So it shrink right on up and I have to be like, thank goodness I have healthy hair. Just thank goodness I have healthy hair. Um, but back to religion. Excuse me. That little microphone was going through it. I'm gonna put it on this little ruler. Okay, so back to religion. When you really take time to like genuinely analyze the things that you are being fed and you start to deconstruct and decolonize your mental, a lot of shit changes. I ain't gonna lie, a lot changes. You begin to kind of see through the cracks of everyone's facade, everything's facade, everything something means. You start learning about psychology. You start to be able, and you are able to now see all the different ways someone may be trying to deceive you, or you start to see, oh, they're not even trying to deceive me because they're trying to deceive themselves. You start to realize, oh, this person that's been talking bad about me, talking this ish all this long time, they not really talking to me when they say it. They're not really talking to me when they say it. They're speaking from their their broken heart. They're speaking from a broken heart. Broken individuals go out and try to break as many people as possible because that's all they know. That's all they know. That's the only thing they doing. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bully because my mama bullied me. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But something I want us to realize is like, you are not a victim. You are not a victim. We got to break out of this victim mentality because it'll really keep you down. I got bullied literally like 5 years straight during my most like transformative years. Like I was just barely, didn't even start puberty when it started. So I'm a kid. I'm 9 years old. I'm 8 years old. I was eight when it started. People will find literally anything to pick you apart about. They will pick apart everything about you if you let them. And I let them because I didn't know better. I wasn't instilled with the principle that you can pick them apart back. You can fight back with observation, but I didn't really have the amount of love and the amount of care and the heart that I have now. I didn't have that back then. Now I would speak up for myself. Somebody says something crazy, I'm like, hold up, what did you just say? Rewind. Like, why would you say something like that? Because now I'm grown, I'm an adult, I'm able to realize I found my voice. I found it. The voice didn't come out of nowhere. I had to search for it and I found it. And I love that about me. I found my voice and now I use my voice. Because that's what we all need. We need somebody to use their voices for us. And that's what I'd like to be for people. I like to be the person that says, okay, I'm not saying this things that I'm saying about religion because I believe that religion is evil as a whole. I personally don't believe that every person who is religious is evil. I believe that they're brainwashed. I believe that if you are a part of organized religion, you have undergone a lot of brainwashing because these religions are not based in love a lot of the times. They're based in fear. They tell you constantly, fear your God. You have to fear your God. Why would a God that's so loving and protective and parental need fear? That's why parents tell their children, you don't need to respect me, you need to fear me. That's why they treat their children the way that they do because they want their children to be afraid. But it's like, why would you want your children, your offspring, the people that literally come out and they are like empty, not necessarily like empty shells, but they are blank canvases. When you have a child and you have a person that is, I know there's makeup on it. Ignore that. When you have a person that is a completely blank canvas, there's nothing on either side. As a parent, as the God, you are in charge of instilling your people with all of their color. It is your job to instill the people with all of their color because you are the parent, you are the creator, you are the artist. It's your job to fill this canvas with color. I love art metaphors and I love art history. I just had to put that out there. Um, I'm thinking I might just start posting my videos unedited and just like tagging like, oh, this video is unedited. Putting a caption in the description like the reason I put this video out unedited is because for one, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. I do like to record, not I don't like to record for more than a certain amount of time, so I will like stop the video, play, stop, play, blah 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 blah. But that's okay. It's not technically editing. It's not editing at all actually. It's just making a new video. Eventually it will be editing when I have to put the videos together and then just post it. But still. Okay. So this was a long-winded way for me to just say like you don't need religion. You don't need organized religion. You don't need church. You don't need a priest or a pastor to get you closer to source, get you closer to God, get you closer to your creator. You don't need it because even the Bible says this. The creator is within you. I'm going to say that again. The creator is within you. It's within all of us. We are all connected through this one thing. We have the solar system, the universe within our spiritual bodies. And so many are held down by the shackles of, let's call it what it is, white supremacy. So many of us are held down by the shackles of white supremacy to the point that they will believe anything that's put in front of them. Not saying that the Christianity is anything that's put in front of them, but if somebody said, for example, I had a vision last night, and in that vision, it told me that Donald Trump was our savior, and he's going to be coming into the White House to save us all. Save us from what? What are we being saved from? They say this all the time. We're being saved from the woke mind virus, aka we don't like black people and we don't want to see black people on television, on YouTube, on the internet, but because black people exist, we have to, and I hate it. Just like when Hallie was chosen to be Ariel, and the first things they said was, but she's black. This mermaid can't be black because she's a white mermaid in the movie. In the animated movie that someone drew, the mermaid is white. In the original story, she was a white Dutch. Everyone's forgetting that possibly like this is a fantasy story, like it's a movie, it's a fantasy. Hallie had the voice for it, Hallie has the looks for it, Hallie has the hair for it. You just don't like the fact that she's colored. I said the C word. It's very derogatory in a way, but that's how they see it. They're like, we don't want a colored woman on the TV. That's why so many whites lost their ever loving mind because they saw a woman, a black woman, get up there beautifully. She passed her audition just like everybody else that gets into a movie. Now they're doing it again with Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon. The girl is 75% white. She has a single black grandparent. Everybody else is white. But now she's a biracial woman taking the roles from a white woman. When I saw somebody edit Astrid with blonde hair, and yeah, I could see the features from her black parent, from her black grandparent, from that lineage, but barely. If nobody told me that she was like, she had a little bit of spice in her, I wouldn't have known. Baby, that's flour and milk with like a dash of caramel, a dash of cinnamon. Like, I don't understand what the big deal was until I realized this country is in need of a full redo because we're still, so many are still stuck in the mindset that they were never supposed to be free, that they passed that down to their children. And you can tell that they passed that down to their children because even the kids be in school yelling racial slurs. Even the kids be on TikTok talk about a white in this, white in that when they're white. And they know that white in, just because you say white in doesn't mean that you're not saying young nigga. Just because you shorthand it don't mean you're not saying that. Just because you use the darkest of the ninja emojis to talk about somebody doesn't mean you're not still saying nigga. That's what you're saying because that's what a lot of them see us as. That's why they're calling our vernacular, African American English vernacular, that's why they're calling it Ganglish. Ganglish? Oh, the same Ganglish that we grew up hearing from our parents, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, our cousins, our friends, our teachers, our priests, our pastors, our community leaders, all of them. So it's all Ganglish to them. Now they're trying to rebrand it. Oh, this is just Gen Z slang. This is just Gen Z slang when it's been around in our lives, our whole lives. I didn't even really start feeling comfortable speaking in um this Ganglish. Ooh, I didn't feel comfortable speaking in this vernacular until I was an adult and out of school because in school, I said I was getting bullied. So it's hard to be expressive when you're being bullied. Even though I went to a majority black school, I still didn't speak in eighth. I still didn't like to say the N-word around them because I knew I would be ridiculed because I was being ridiculed for everything. You know? So it's like now I'm like, girl, you're grown now. You're no longer in this space. You're no longer a child trying to claw her way into acceptance. You are grown. You are not a victim. You're not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. I had to tell myself this over and over and over again because once you get over that, like, oh, but they wronged me phase, once you get over that and you do that shadow work and you dig deep and you figure out why it felt this way when they did this or why it felt this way when they said this, it helps you take personal responsibility for everything you have ever felt, said, or done. Shadow work is the bridge that people need between them and their spiritual journey. It's absolutely necessary for you to cross that bridge before you do anything. And I say this as someone who was who has been in therapy as well. Like shadow work is just like free therapy for me, honestly. If you have a lot more underlying issues, this video is not about you or for you because as someone who is still mentally ill, um I mean, like, if you want to be, I chose, I'm not going to be held down by my mental illness. Like, I still get monthly depressive episodes. I still go through moments where I'm like, I'm going to jump off a, like, right now. I'm going to jump off a cliff right now. But I let myself have that. I let me have that. I let myself lose that battle for a day or two because I'm like, if I don't bounce back, what the fuck was all the healing work for? What was all the learning why and how to cope for if I don't use any of the tools that were given to me? That's what I mean when I say you are not a victim. Because I'm talking to myself mostly. I'm not a victim because I was given the tools to help myself and I used them. And now I get to I'm going to start using my channel to help pass on these tools. I can do a full shadow work video. I can do a full video on decolonizing. I can do this, that, and the third because I like to talk. I like to use the wisdom that is like blown in through me through the collective consciousness. I like to use that wisdom to and to speak it out loud. When I talk to people and I have really spiritual talks with people, typically they leave and they're like, "Huh, like I'm I've never had someone say like I'm so sad we had this talk. Like I hated that." Like typically they're like, "I'm glad we had this conversation because I had that idea, but I didn't know how I could conceptualize that and then turn that around into like words that make sense. But I can do that. I know how to do that. Since I literally was like code switching for I code switched my entire life. Most people know me, they greatly assume about me like that I am one of those what's it? I'm a bunny hopper or whatever it's called. They think I'm one of them because of the way that I speak and because of the way that I carry myself. And now I'm like realizing these are all projections. Everything around you, everything that people say to you is projection. And it's up to you for you to realize in your mind, like unlock that in your mind is like nothing they say should be taken personally because it's projection. It's always going to be projection. It's all projection. Anyways, I talked a lot about what I don't know. I am gonna leave this video unedited because how many subscribers I have? I have 7 subscribers. Woo woo. I think it's actually 5. Don't care. Woo woo. I love it. I love it over here. Maybe it's my friends. I think most of them are my friends though, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm happy. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to make videos. I have so many videos that I have recorded and never posted. I have so many videos that I just was like, I have to edit it. I have to get rid of this. I said this weird. I was doing this and doing that, and I got to get rid of that embarrassment because I have another video on this, by the way. Embarrassment's not real. I have to keep telling myself embarrassment's not real. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Embarrassment's not real. Nothing is real. All of it is made up. Human. It's all human. It's all human. Everything that we see right now, it's all human. It's all made up. We created that. The society that told you women are supposed to be feminine and men are supposed to be masculine and have that whole like femininity bullshit. It's all human. It's all human. There are no feminine energies. There are no masculine energies. There just is. There just is. And I can never really put my finger on why it was so hard trying to resonate with women like Shira Seven, with women that talked about what is that lady's name? Vera? Vera. I think her name is like Vera something. Like the femininity coaches, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're supposed to don't laugh too loud or don't do this when you da 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 da." And I'm like, because it's not feminine, or don't do this because you're getting in your masculine energy when you plan and do things. And it's all human. And again, also, it's also just like conservative right wing talking points like women are supposed to be in the kitchen, shut the fuck up and do the damn work. Women are supposed to be subdued. Women are supposed to be like, people think housewives were freaking happy. I mean, I'd be happy too if I was on 14 different horse tranquilizers. It takes me like 3, 4 pulls of the cart before I'm able to clean my room. And I'm like, oh, this is why all the housewives were high as shit. This is why all the housewives were off them drugs. Because guess what? Them drugs, baby, say less. Give it here. Give it here. They off one because it helps. It helps. How else are you going to put up with your husband who wants to lay on top of you and do this for a little bit and for about for a minute and 35 seconds and then get off and you have to just like sit there and take it? How else would you be able to endure um your children not being your children because they're your husband's property? How else are you supposed to endure you not being you because you're also your husband's property? But if you're not married, whose property are you? Oh, you're your dad's property. Your dad's dead. Whose property are you? Your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, any man in the vicinity, that nigga down there, just down the street, that nigga that live on the corner of the road, you're his. Because guess what? Women for a long time were subjugated. This is why I say women wake up. Women wake up. Black women wake up. It's time to actually like start. It's actually like pissing me off. Like on TikTok, they're having conversations about thinness. And you probably like, girl, what are you talking about? I can see the thin on you. I'm gaining weight. Don't do me. Like I'm like boom, big muscle. Like ooh, I don't know. And like one of the things that she said about her body and her thinness was the fact that her thinness is a status symbol, and it's like it's not giving white supremacy to y'all. It was a black woman that said this, but it's not. It's not giving right wing. It's a slippery slope. It's always a slippery slope. First, it's talking about feminine energy. Then it's talking about, oh yeah, I don't want to work because working is for men. Then it's, oh, women shouldn't work. Oh, women shouldn't be making these decisions because that's for men. Women have always had to make these decisions, but they shouldn't have been making these decisions because that's a man's thing. It's a masculine thing. They should be feminine. They should be small and meek and little, and they should. You're making me tired. You're tiring me out. You're making me tired, and I want this to stop. Oh, oh, hold up. Someone back at the station is trying to tell me something. You've been yapping for 40 minutes? Oh, my bad. My fault, OGs. But anyways, this is gonna be the end of the video. The people at the station are telling me it's time to wrap it up. So let's just give a little round of applause to me. Give a little round of applause to me. Okay, now give a little round of applause to you. Yeah. Thank you, Queen. I was honestly considering just making a podcast. I was honestly just considering making a podcast. And now that I'm doing this, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. My channel's just gonna be like long form videos. I was like, I gotta get it cut down. I gotta take out all the little things to please the algorithm. I don't give a fuck about the algorithm anymore. Fuck the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. My fault. Fuck the algorithm because the algorithm.